What would you do if you made $466,000 every month? Well, this is William Brown, and that's exactly how much he makes every month with his incredibly simple YouTube funnel. There's no complex sales sequence, there's no fancy landing page, and his YouTube videos are so incredibly basic. Today, I'm breaking down exactly how Will does it and how you can just copy this for your coaching business or agency, even if you're starting with 0 subscribers. So first, let's look at what William shared. Last month, he made $466,000 cash collected through what might be the simplest system I've ever seen. And what is so fascinating is that he's doing this with a tiny team, minimal overheads, and almost none of the complexity that most online businesses think they need. But here's what's really interesting. He's doing it with what I call the zero friction approach. He stripped away everything that doesn't directly contribute to making sales, and that's exactly why it's working so well. So let me show you exactly what I mean by this. But first, I want to tell you, we are helping agency owners and coaches build a YouTube channel that brings in qualified sales calls every month. You just show up and record the content, and we do absolutely everything else, including building the sales system around the content. If you want to learn more about this, you can book a call with me. The link's in the description. Okay, back to the video. So William's entire funnel consists of just 3 components. He has YouTube videos that build trusts through valuable content. He has a single simple landing page with a video sales letter explaining what he does and who it's for. And then he has a book a call button. And then he has a direct call with no complex qualification process. And that's it. There's no lead magnets, there's no email sequence, there's no complicated sales pages, there's no multi-day challenge or webinar. And this goes against what 99% of people are doing. Most people think that if they aren't making enough sales, they need to add more things to their funnel. They need to add another page to their website, or add more copy to their landing page, or add more steps for their prospects to jump through. But William's approach isn't to ask, what can I add to increase conversions? He asks, what can I take away? So every step or complication that you add to your funnel creates another point of friction, which decreases the chances that somebody will book a call with you. For example, even having your book a call button not immediately obvious counts as a point of friction. So let's look at how William's landing page is structured, because this is so important to why it works so well for him. So this is William's landing page, which generates him over $450,000 every single month. Notice 3 key things here. Everything important is above the fold. This means that you don't need to scroll to see it. There's a simple video sales letter that explains what he does, outlines his offer, and then there's a book a call button immediately visible and prominent. William shared a story about how he was helping a client who was struggling with his own sales calls. When William looked at his client's landing page, he found that his book a call button was buried at the bottom of a massive page beneath loads of testimonials and FAQs and other information. So William's advice was simple: bring that button to the top and put it right below the explainer video. This one change made an immediate difference to the number of calls this client was booking. The second mistake William's client was making was having a 14-question application form before somebody could book a call. So by cutting out the questions and simplifying this, it instantly increased the number of calls that were being booked. So keep it simple. If you're not getting enough calls, reduce friction, don't add more of it. This is the complete opposite of what most coaches and agencies are doing. They're adding more steps, more questions, more complexity, and then they're wondering why they're not getting enough sales calls. Sometimes we just do things because that's what everybody else is doing without stopping to ask if it's actually necessary. I've been guilty of this myself, making complex processes to onboard clients, adding more steps and more things for them to do before they book a call with me, because that's just what I see other people are doing. But the big problem with this is when something goes wrong, it's very hard to identify where that problem is. If you have lots of different friction points and you're not getting as many sales calls as you want, it's very hard to know where it's going wrong. However, if you have a simple 3 or 4 steps like William, it's much easier to test and adjust each step to make sure it's as streamlined as possible. William shares a story about how he added an extra piece of video content to social platforms every day and his calls doubled. So it was clear to see where those extra calls were coming from because his funnel is already so simple. You could immediately see the impact of this one adjustment. In a complex business model where there's lots of different steps, it's very difficult to see what change actually makes the difference. So how can you implement William's approach in your own business? Well, I've broken it down into 3 simple steps. So step 1, simplify your landing page. So take a look at your current landing page and ask yourself, is my call to action visible without scrolling? Have I removed all unnecessary questions from my discovery form? Is my offer clearly explained in a simple video? Have you stripped away everything that doesn't directly contribute to somebody booking a sales call? If the answer is no to any of these questions, then this is your first opportunity for improvement. Step 2, create consistent trust-building content. So William's YouTube videos aren't fancy productions, they're really simple, straightforward videos where he just talks and shares his valuable insights and builds trust. The key is consistency and value, so commit to publishing regularly and aim for once a week. Focus on solving real problems for your ideal customers. Make sure that every video description has a clear link to your landing page. So William mentioned that one of his clients was creating videos for months, but he forgot to include the link to his landing page in all the videos. So this simple mistake made a huge impact and he wasn't booking any calls through YouTube. So go through your YouTube funnel as if you were a prospect and make sure that there's a clear path from somebody watching the video to then booking a call with you. Step 3, track and optimize one metric. So for William, the key metric is daily sales calls, and that's it. He knows exactly how many calls he needs to be getting every day, and then he can immediately see the impact of any changes that he makes. So pick your most important metric. It's most likely going to be sales calls or applications submitted, and then track it religiously. William did share an important caveat that I want to make sure that we address. He said, the more calls that you're booking, the more friction that you can add. The less calls you're booking, you've got to take friction away. So this is critical to understand. If you're already drowning in calls and need to filter out time wasters, then yes, adding more friction with some qualification makes sense. Think of it like a water tap. When the water flow is too strong, you can add a filter to control it. But when there's barely a trickle, the last thing you want to do is add more restrictions. So be honest with yourself about your situation in your business right now. If you're not booking enough calls, focus on removing friction, not adding more. Now, I want to be completely honest with you. This approach is simple and it works incredibly well, but it still requires creating genuine, valuable content that builds trust, having an offer that actually gets results for your clients, and then being consistent in your content creation and delivery. And again, if you'd like us to handle all of the content side of things for you so you can just focus on running your business, then book a call with me today. We have a system where we'll create weekly videos for your YouTube channel and your sales funnel with as little as 3 hours of your time a month. So now you know how to build a simple system that turns viewers into customers. Watch this video here to learn how to make the right kind of content that will build up your loyal audience and convert them into customers. By not watching this video, you risk wasting time creating videos that don't actually lead to sales. So make sure you check out this video next, and I'll see you there.